Hey friends, just a quick announcement before we get into the video. You're probably wondering why I haven't been posting as much on YouTube or why I haven't been live on Twitch for a while. The reason is the internet's actually gone down in my area and it won't be fixed till Wednesday. So at the moment we've got like next to no upload and next to no download at my house. So there's not a whole lot I can do. It's going to take me ages to upload this video, so I don't actually know when it'll eventually be uploaded. But yeah, the reason for the delay in post is because of the internet, but as soon as that's fixed, we'll have a whole lot of content for you. I'll make up my time in terms of streams and content. Just for the meantime, there's not a whole lot I can do, and I'm sorry about that. Anyways, let's get straight into the action. Hey guys, Hook to Clash here, and today's video is going to be about a day I had in Legends League this week, and as you can see, we were able to get 284 cups. Obviously, actually, we're going to switch the color of that to, maybe that's a bit nicer to look at. We got 284 cups, which is obviously a very good Legends day. It's not quite my best. It's a little bit off, but still an elite day, especially because we are sitting in the 5700s at the moment. However, the real reason I want to show you this day is that some of the time, you just need a little bit of luck in Legends. Honestly, I got quite lucky today. If a few things went against me, we very easily could have got like 230-ish. But today was my lucky day, and I thought I'd show you that, you know, some of the time it's skill, and some of the time it's just down to the RNG of it all. So we got 5 triples for you here today. We'll just go from the most recent ones to the first ones we did in the day, and have a look at the replay ends in time. Yes. And we're going to, we'll times 4 through, because we're just currently figuring out the plan now. And then we're actually going to go half time for this. Look when I deploy this Yeti. On 3 minutes. This was the last attack of the day, and as you can tell, I got very fortunate here. This was literally a last second triple. Now obviously this is a rough sort of base to run into. But on these bases, more and more what I'm doing is on these like awkward core town hall bases, if you can queen charge the town hall, then like quite often you'll find out that you've got a really good chance at the base. Now it was a really easy funnel on the top side here, just a Yeti and a balloon cleared all of that, so it made sure my queen would go into the base. But then obviously getting the queen to go for the town hall from there is quite difficult. You can wall break here quite reliably, but then the queen's more often than not just going to go for all these buildings here. So how do you ensure she goes in? Well, the best one for me is you actually start your hybrid early. I've been starting a lot of my hybrids at the sort of 2-minute mark to 1 minute 50 mark. And what this does is you use the hybrid to force your queen in. Now, this doesn't work as well on war bases, because on war bases, you'll find that the spread of defenses is a lot more balanced. Whereas, we'll just pause it here. Look at the core of this base. The core of this base is stacked with defenses of high value. So if I can use my hybrid to funnel my queen, yes, it is in a very expensive funnel, but my hybrid can kind of like rotate around the base and not have to deal with the majority of the core, because my queen's going to take it. But then my queen is also taking less damage because defenses like this scatter shot here are tanked by my hybrid instead. It's just like moving in unison. So some of the time it will look just a bit spammy and a bit luck based, but there is like a little bit of calculation to it. Now I messed up here because my queen got too low. So at this point, I'm just willing to pop her. I didn't bother trying to put a last second rage because I was pretty sure I was going to need to pop anyway. Now, as you can see here, my hybrid actually ends up going for the town hall, and I'm going to lose a few troops here. My queen does help take it out, but maybe it was my hybrid was a bit early. I don't really know. Either way, we're looking okay at this stage. We've got a nice push through, but look at all these back-end heroes, these back-end multis, the back-end singles as well. They are going to be doing a lot of work. As you can see, we've got a minute left here. So at this stage, I was pretty sure that we were kind of chilling. We're still hanging on to a couple of wizards. There goes one of them. We don't have any wall breaks though, and my queen is slowly beating out of the base. We've got quite a few miners up here. Are they going to be able to do much? Unfortunately, the single locks straight onto the RC. It doesn't go for any of the miners. No real surprise, let's be honest. Let's see what happens here, though. Unfortunately, my queen can't reach this single, and because we had to use her ability earlier because we don't know how to use a rage spell, she actually goes down here. But look at this warden. Bam, bam, bam. Thank you very much. But it isn't over yet. Now, we do have about 20 seconds left on the clock. And you think, well, we should be able to get 5 buildings that quickly, but not so for the warden. Obviously, not the quickest defense out of all of them. We got the wizard down on this gold storage. That was honestly what saved the raid here. I hung on to that wizard until the archer tower was tanked by the warden. And look at this. This wizard shot hits it at the last possible second, and that's what got us the 284 day. That was the last attack of the day. And honestly, it was just symbolic of the day we'd had a bit of luck. Now, this one isn't going to be luck whatsoever. This is going to be one of the other style attacks we had today. I essentially had 2 styles of attack. It was either quite lucky, or we did a daring charge and it paid off. That last charge was a little daring, but have a look at this one here. We'll actually pause so I can talk through why I didn't charge the bottom. Now, with hybrid, I love queen charging the town hall and the CC. If they're together and there's a way I can coin charge them, that's huge value. And then often you can just hybrid around. But on this one, it was super awkward. A, with this single just chilling nowhere. B, this single is guarded by the CC, and obviously all these expos as well. Now, we probably wouldn't ever have more than 3 on us at a time, but it was just really that single that made me a little concerned about this charge. Whereas on the top side, look, because these are multis and there's no expos over here, and expos are obviously really punishing on queen charges, I was like, well, if I can get a wall break here on this archer tower, look at what my queen can reach. She can get a scatter shot, she can get the eagle, she can get both air heroes. It's a pretty nice value. So I go for the gutsy charge here. Often, this is the sort of charge you do with the queen charge Lalo and Wreck-It, right? Because you're getting rid of multis, scatters, eagles, air heroes. That's the sort of value you look for. Whereas with hybrids, you're looking for, yes, still heroes, obviously, but you're more looking for pathing and for the town hall and CC. Those are more so your main targets. But we're not going to get the town hall or the CC with this charge. Sorry, I'll speed it back down to 1. We'd use the king to funnel. That's what I'm kind of liking about the hybrid in Legends at the moment. Some of the time you'll use the king to funnel, some of the time you won't. Look at it, the queen is still chilling in the core of the base. Now you're probably wondering, why didn't you use the siege barracks down the bottom? And that's just a good question. I don't really have a good answer for that. Some of the time I like to funnel on like the left side with the siege barracks rather than like the outside, because then it kind of, you know, funnels into the hybrid a bit better. Especially because look how narrow the funnel was needed to be here. It's not a very wide base at this point, and it is a bit luck based whether you get stuff go for the town hall, but you would be extremely unfortunate if nothing went for the town hall. The rage, yes, my queen only needed 2 rages for her charge, and she took out the entire core of the base. Like, look at what she left. Yes, there's a scattershot still at the top, but my RC has ability. We have so many miners up. We've got a few hogs up as well, and this is absolutely crushed. That charge just absolutely made this attack. We took a bit of a riskier approach for the hybrid, but we definitely got the payoff here. Nicely done to... Well, it kind of feels odd saying nicely done to myself. I'm just used to saying it from all the wars that we cast. Yet again, this one was a luckier attack. Now, I have seen this style of base a lot in Legends, and I hate it. Now, often this single here is actually a multi, and this multi here is a single. But it was the other way around, so I had to change up my queen charge. Often I'll like queen charge like here, wall break that, then wall break that, and then try and wall break into the core. But I was scared of dealing with the CC here whilst being under single range. You obviously don't want to do that at all. So we actually changed it up a little bit. It's going to look mostly the same, but the wall breaks will actually be slightly different. We use the Yeti to take out the cannon at the bottom. Often you'd be just queen charging that. And essentially, I believe I wall break right here. So we're going in with our first point of entry a lot more to the left, keeping us further out of range of the single than we would have been otherwise. Queen's under so much damage at this point. Like, that's the one downside of these really compact bases for hybrid, is that the queen charge is super difficult. Headhunter does amazing work helping on the enemy BK here, and just make him look very pedestrian. I use the freeze on the headhunters there just because look how much damage is on my queen at this point. I don't want to risk anything, and it means that we can actually save our poison for the lava pups as well. And because we're kind of just dealing with a multi, I'm honestly okay with using a freeze early. We popped the king and the P.E.K.K.A, and I was kind of hoping that the king and P.E.K.K.A would be able to get the town hall, but as you can see, they're really going to struggle here. Now, I'm hybriding really early. As soon as that cannon's down, bam, we get the wall breaker down. But look at this. We're about to get very lucky here. Look, the queen reroutes to go around the wall to get the builder hut, and then she reroutes back out of the single range. She very well could have just beat on that wall for an eternity, but she jumped out. Now, she is back in single range, but she can reach the single from here quite early on. I freeze the scatter shot. I could have frozen the single, but I was kind of worried the impact that scatter was having on my hybrid. It was doing so much damage, but look, my queen starts to tank the scatter shot. She's hanging on for bare life at this point. If she gets in warden range and the warden targets her, she's dead. But thankfully, the hogs just get in the way. Got a few hogs just tanking for the RC. I still have the RC ability, but I'm seriously worried at this stage about her dying out. And look, this attack just looks like it's slowly dying out at this point. I'd actually kind of given up on the attack. We still did have our queen up, but I just assumed something would take her out. But look at this. We've got just the king finally goes down, but we've got a few miners on the outside, and they, with the assistance of the wizards from the siege barracks, just clean up everything that's left. I think we got this with like 10 seconds left, so it wasn't like too close on time, but obviously you'd prefer it to be a little less close than that. Either way, we'll take 40 cups, but that was a little fortunate with the queen pathing there and just how the back end worked out, but we aren't going to complain about that at all. Yet again, did you see that? 3 minutes 29 when we started the attack, and you can bet that we spend 30 seconds of prep trying to figure out the charge, because I did not like this base. Look at when we dropped the first troop. Bam. 2 minutes 59 we dropped it. Now, it wasn't 3 minutes, but still pretty close there. We use a balloon, and the reason I use the balloon to lure the CC is if there's headhunters or super minions, those will come out, whereas the hound won't. I don't really want my queen shooting a hound whilst there's a headhunter there. And look at that. Pretty nice here. This poison was actually a little bit early. I should have delayed this poison a bit more. And the reason for that is these lava pups that come out don't quite die to the poison spell, and it means my queen spends extra time, and we nearly spent too much time dealing with that. Now we queen charge into this top compartment here, and then we're going to double wall break to deal with the town hall. And basically we're then going to hybrid from the top side. I use my siege barracks in front, and then basically the point of that is I'm going to use my king to funnel the P.E.K.K.A into this compartment on the left-hand side. Actually ends up working nicely, but look at my queen going after just a crazy wall with the town hall just there. So that was a little unlucky, but it's going to get slightly luckier towards the end that the town hall does go down. Nicely done there. Hybrids pushing through nicely at this point. No real issues, but we're going to start to hit some problem areas now with this bomb tower and these skellies. And the single went straight after my RC rather than like the 10 minus. And look, my warden actually left my hybrid and just ran over with my queen, which is just warden doing warden things. Look at this P.E.K.K.A though. The P.E.K.K.A from the siege barracks. And in case you didn't look at this, by the way, you can't see its health bar. The purple is actually flickering in and out. This is the P.E.K.K.A that was targeted by the single up here at the start. I didn't point it out, but it was targeted by the single and just got out of range in time. If it spent like a millisecond longer than that, it would be dead now, and this would be a time fail attack. We are sitting on our queen ability, but I did want to save it for the single and just last possible shot. It was just gonna be one of those days. 2 triples on the buzzer so far, and one where the P.E.K.K.A that, you know, did so much work on cleanup somehow miraculously stayed up. I still can't believe it, honestly. Absolutely crazy stuff. And this was my first hit of the day. Don't worry, I don't believe this one's close on time, but this one does get a little fortunate that my queen stays alive. Let's have a look at her here. So we start the Yeti on this bottom side. Now, we'll go look at the base again. I did not want a queen charge from the top. Yes, I love queen charging the town hall for hybrid, but I do not like charging double sweeper. I did not like this extra layer gap to the town hall. It was going to make it really awkward, and this single is in a really imminent position. So what I decided, I was like, well, I'll just try and queen charge all of this and just hybrid straight through the town hall. Surely that can't go wrong, right? We'll find out here. Yeti doesn't have to deal with the Tesla. Unfortunately, I had a minion for the left side, but a Tesla appears out of nowhere. So that minion was going to be huge because obviously the minion isn't affected by the cannon. But every other funnel troop I have is going to be hit by the cannon here. Now we get the builder hut down, and then I put 2 loons on the cannon. Look at that. The first wall breaker fails, but the second one doesn't. Just some wall breaker things. And then pop queen. Already popped the queen like 2.5 seconds into the battle. That's obviously not ideal at all. But look at that next wall break. Just an amazing wall break. We use a miner and a wizard on the left-hand side. And these are clutch. These are going to funnel the queen into the base. The queen's still dealing with the CC. She's got to deal with more of the CC here. We poison the super minions, freeze the headhunters. I don't know why I made that headhunter freeze so close. Like, I barely got it, but either way. Now, look at this funnel. I realized I probably should have used the siege barracks on this side and BK up the top, because the BK would clear a bigger funnel. Because the funnel on this side, right? Because I know, sorry, I am kind of backtracking a bit here. Generally, in like hybrid hits in war, you'll see the P.E.K.K.A. and the siege barracks and the king on the same side and hybrid like that. But I can't do that on this hit because there's still like all these buildings here that I don't want my miners to go to. So I need to use one of my king or my siege barracks here. Now I definitely should have used my siege barracks. That would have been the smarter choice, and then the king up here. Either way, it's never bad to split it like this. A lot of the time in war, you'll have like a plan for these sort of buildings here, so you can send the P.E.K.K.A. and the siege barracks from up the top here. But in Legends League, some of the time you've got to be creative. So Queen goes in. Look at the work she's doing here, by the way. It's amazing stuff here. So she got rid of 1 scatter and 1 multi. I used the headhunter with my siege barracks P.E.K.K.A. up the top, and that helps out a lot to get rid of the enemy king. Unfortunately, the P.E.K.K.A. still goes down. Look at my king though. He's actually traveled across the base. The hybrid, look at that warden. Very fortunate there, but you're never going to complain about a bit of luck. And then look at this queen. She went all the way over here to shoot, and then she's going to wrap back around and go into the core and get the eagle and the scatter here. Super duper fortunate, but you're never going to complain about it. We actually lose the RC through ability here, by the way. She doesn't get our ability off because of that town hall slow effect. So if there's a single by the town hall, your RC's targeted by it, pop your RC as soon as possible. Otherwise, you are playing with fire. As you can see, though, we've got the second heal coming down there. The queen's still alive. She's barely going to survive here. This ground warden's going to try its absolute best to take her out. All the healers are really low health as well. But overall, after a really shaky start, this actually ends up being a nice triple. And it was a nice way to start the day, honestly. And it set us up for the 284 that we would end up getting. Anyways, we'll jump back to the log here just to have a look at it yet again. So yes, not like the most amazing day on record. I'm not here to show off about how good a day I had. It was just, having a look at some of the time pro players, when they're up in Legends, get those huge scores because of skill. And some of the time, it's just luck falling their way. This very easily could have been a 230 day, but the Clash Gods were on my side. Anyways, if you enjoyed this video, give it a like, give it a comment, subscribe to the channel. I appreciate all the support. You guys are an amazing fan base, and I appreciate you all. Hope you enjoyed it, and maybe I'll see you soon.